These are breaking inputs coming in of what has just come about as an update from the Home Ministry in allowing the movement of migrant workers, allowing the movement of stranded tourists and stranded students as well. This movement, though, only to be allowed via road and buses. So, of course, this is not going to be on operating. That isn't happening. This movement will only be allowed on roads. This is for stranded migrant workers, students, tourists who have remained stranded for the past more than a month of 36 days of the lockdown here. And the state governments now will have to make this, decide the protocol, decide nodal authorities here for this purpose. This is going to be a humongous task. Remember, movement that has been happening irrespective of the lockdown in the middle of the night, that has continued, of movement of migrant workers if they're not nabbed by the police. But this is now being allowed. Our correspondent Ayushman getting us further details here. Ayushman, this is of course going to come in as a huge relief for many people across the country. But the nitty-gritties once again of this, that needs to be decided by each state government, with each case, each situation of respective state governments being different.
And in fact, the Ministry of Home Affairs has allowed the movement of stranded workers, stranded migrant workers, pilgrims, tourists and students interstate. But this has come with certain restrictions. It has clearly said that moving persons should be screened, and all states should designate nodal authorities to develop standard protocol for receiving and sending such stranded person. And in case of a group stranded person wish to move from one state to another, the sending and the receiving state must consult each other, may consult each other and mutually agree for the movement. And they would be screened, and those found asymptomatic will be allowed to proceed. It is also said that the buses will be used for transportation, and the buses will be sanitized, and social distancing norms should be followed in that. And it has been also said that on the arrival, if such persons who have been assessed by the local authorities, they must go and kept in home quarantine unless the assessment requires the keeping person in institutional quarantine. Will be kept under watch by the periodic health checkup. And the Aryogya Setu app will be used for checking the health status. This is the guideline that has been issued by the Home Ministry.
All right, specific details of that which have been released as well in guidance to the state governments on how to go about this. Ayushman, thank you for these inputs.